Big D Entertainment, in association with Dipsy Doodle Productions, presents The Dave Holly Hour. Brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Phil's Pub, Phil's, your local dive with music for the people. Chasers Food and Spirits, Excel Chiropractic, and Quality Nails. The Dave Holly Hour features Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment Conversations. A true lover of arts, entertainment, good food, and fun times, including an occasional Jack Daniels. Okay, so a few Jack Daniels. Here he is, Dave Holly.
Hello once again, fellow arts and entertainment enthusiasts. In the words of the late President Ronald Reagan, well, now there you go again. And I am very pleased with your actions. We have achieved yet another milestone, 25,000 downloads. Wow, wow, wow. Thank all of you. And thank all of you for the time to download, to listen, to share this show. It means a great deal to me, our sponsors, and the arts community. This week's show includes two great conversations. Artist Alex Lunstra returns to tell us about a benefit exhibit Saturday at Club David. It's an interesting one. Then Richard Crawford makes his debut here. He's a fascinating person that is responsible for bringing the National Federation for the Blind's tactile art to the Washington Pavilion. He gives us a story on how it came to be. So come on in, join us. We're waiving the cover charge here at the Dipsy Doodle Productions studio. Dress code is casual, very casual. We still have some spots open. Just make sure to bring your own beverage. But first...
Honey, look at this!
Unbelievable!
Yeah! Yummy!
I know!
That'd be fantastic. You know what I'm talking about.
Dave's Fave! Each week, we salute a person or business that I feel is worthy of a shout-out for any number of reasons. They receive a small thank you gift. Now, this week's Dave's Fave is Shannon Ward at Good Natured. That would be Good Natured in its new location. Now, think of Good Natured as your third place. The one that isn't work or home, but feels a little like both if they had better snacks, live events, and great people. So say hello to Shannon at the new location, 2501 West 12th Street in Sioux Falls, and keep tabs on the people and businesses each week, as well as things about me, like my favorite films, quotes, advice, etc., on Dave's Faves page on the show website, davehollyhour.com. After you look at that page, click on the trivia page to see our schedule at Chasers, West 12th and Ellis Road. Stop in for great food, great beverages, and fun times. Monday nights at 7, we play Dave Holly Hour Trivia. This coming Monday, March 30th, the last Monday of the month, it's Wild Card Trivia where there's more opportunity to win. Mondays are always fun at Chasers, your neighborhood gathering place. Honorable mention. What made Dave laugh, chuckle, chortle, downright slap my knee silly, or simply fill my heart with happiness? Oh, this one made me smile. Shed tears of joy. Happy, happy heart. I found out yesterday that my dear friend Cammie Powers, her husband Derek, and Chad Hoagie are in the process of buying Brookings Radio, meaning there would actually be local ownership of local radio. I was an usher at Cammie and Derek's wedding. I worked with her for 5 years. I wish them all the best. I'm not just simply going to say good luck, Godspeed, stuff like that. I wish them all the best because this is a young lady that is more than capable of making this endeavor a success. I hope this will start a national trend. All right. Oh, all the best, kid. Later in the show, Richard Crawford. Up next, Alex Lunstra on the Dave Holly Hour. Trio Jazz Club is an intimate music venue in the heart of Sioux Falls. It's family-owned and family-run. Ricardo and Mary Beth and the entire staff provide the art of hospitality, while the best local and regional musicians provide the smooth sounds. It's a great vibe with live music Tuesday through Saturday nights. The chefs and mixologists offer an amazing menu and beer and wine lists. Cocktails as smooth as the jazz. Join the club, Trio Jazz Club, across from the Washington Pavilion. Enter as friends, leave as family.
It's a fresh new look for DaveHollyHour.com. Besides catching up on episodes, find Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment websites. See what Dave likes on the Dave's Faves page. Get more information about our wonderful sponsors. Check out the news and notes section to find out what past guests are up to, and sign up for our newsletter. It's all at your searching and surfing fingertips. DaveHollyHour.com.
Looking for a place that actually feels like your place? Then you've got to check out Phil's Pub, your local dive bar. It's the kind of spot where you can kick back, catch a game, listen to live music, actually have a conversation without shouting over the noise. People say it's cozy, welcoming, and the kind of place where strangers turn into friends. Hey, are you hungry? You know what? Phil's has that wonderful Italian restaurante. Okay, they have pizza, and it's ready for you. And if you're craving something else, just bring your own food or order in. No stress, no pressure, just stay a while. There's always something happening. Tonight, support a great cause at Trap the Queen of Spades, a weekly fundraiser hosted by Sioux Empire TNR, helping community cats. Stick around, because at 7:30, dig deep, hitting the stage for a free live show. Then on Saturday at 7, don't miss the next Writers Round featuring Rich Show, Toby Kane, and Chris Sandvig, and emceed by me. They are 3 seasoned musicians bringing decades of music and storytelling to the stage. And then coming up April 3rd, celebrate Good Friday with a free show from the Crabgrass Crew. So whether you're there for the music, the people, or just a place to unwind, Phil's Pub's waiting for you. Learn more at Phil's Facebook page.
He's a bit flirtatious, but most of all, fun. Once again, here's Dave Holly.
Welcome back, everybody. Oh, yes, you know I wrote it into my contract, so it must be said. It's always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire Arts and Entertainment. And it's such a pleasure to have this lady back in the Dipsy Doodle Productions studio, artist Alex Lunstra. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, you should be doing. I'm doing very well, too. But, I mean, you should be doing great. My goodness gracious, you're going to get married later on in this year.
Yeah.
And you've been going crazy with teaching people. Not just showing off your art, but now people are getting to experience it firsthand.
Yeah.
And then experience it for themselves firsthand.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, it's been going great. And so I know you've got another one coming up on Saturday.
Yeah.
So what is that class going to be?
Wait, class on Saturday?
Oh.
I have the Audacious Hearts event on Saturday.
Yes, that's what it is. It's not a class per se as in
so
experience.
Well, we are still kind of bringing in new artists and things. So
okay.
So it's, I'm going to say it's still building up for a lot of people. So for the March 28th event, we are doing an art auction. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of well-known artists. We have a lot of brand new artists who haven't exhibited before, and we've hand-selected all of them.
Oh, perfect.
So we're raising funds for South Dakota Voices for Peace. So Tunisia Islam will be there doing a little speech and things. But we want to raise some awareness about what's going on with ICE.
Yeah, with the world.
Yeah.
Will there be any that'll say just plain old simply, stick it, ICE? I would use much more. I've actually said the word on this show before, but we'll stay away from it for a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I like that.
But what brought about this event then?
So a couple months ago, I was scrolling through Facebook Marketplace and came across a ton of mannequins for sale. And then I had an idea. So I was thinking, these are all bottom portions of mannequins, so it's like the waist down to their feet, or some don't have feet, but it's all bottom portions. So I was thinking we could use this as a display to show we stand for something.
Ah, I like it.
So I reached out to a few of my friends. We have a little group chat going on Facebook. It's the Art Ladies chat. And now I think we've possibly accidentally started a nonprofit. Spiraling off that. But I asked what they thought, if it was too much or if we should even approach the political topic.
Mm-hmm.
And they loved it. And they said, I think we have a lot of people who really are feeling big things. And when people feel big things, that's when our artists create the best work.
Yeah, I'm 63 years old, and this is the most activism that I have experienced in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just amazing to see the way that, well, let's put it this way. I'm like to see the purpose of activism and protests when done properly.
Yes.
And it seems everybody seems to be trying that. It's the other people that get their asses in the way of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that you're doing this, and I think it's a novel idea for one thing.
Yeah.
And we're very familiar with mannequin art at this household because our neighbor has done mannequin art in the past out in the backyard.
Oh,
yeah,
that's fantastic.
And so we've seen lots of stuff going on. So how many people will be displaying then?
So we have over 20 artists. I'm going to leave it at that because we didn't give them a whole lot of time to do this.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure we scheduled this as soon as we could to keep things fresh and make this really important and impactful.
Yeah.
So a lot of them are still working on things right until the day of.
Yeah, that's fantastic. How many pieces are you putting in?
Well, I have a few partial mannequins.
Okay.
So the most of the show is these waist down to feet folks. And then my guys are about knees up to the waist. There were just 3 of them, so I figured I'd create a couple for the display.
Mm-hmm.
So you will see 2 of mine right away when you walk into Club David. I'll greet you right up front with a nice big poster asking, what do you stand for? And then you get to walk on into the event and you'll go past Tunisia and South Dakota Voices for Peace. We'll have a table over there.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have a table showing people what we're doing with Audacious Hearts, building within the art community and making the world better through art. So I have a rainbow mannequin to represent South Dakota, or excuse me, to represent Audacious Hearts.
Okay.
Now, these will all go up for auction, raising funds for South Dakota Voices for Peace. But
so anything you have to pay at the door, or just it's going to be the auction?
It is free of charge to go in. We are asking for a $10 donation.
Oh,
but
easy.
That's it. We have aerial bartenders that will be starting up right away. So that'll be a whole interesting thing.
All right. So what will be the time of this then?
So the aerial bartending starts right away at 4:00.
Well, that's a good thing.
We kick everything off with that. We do a few performances. And then we're also going to do a couple of speeches talking more about what we're doing and the impact. And then we'll roll into the auction. We have Kelsey Schroeder auctioning our items and emceeing the event. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, very great event. I just love the whole idea. But, it was, I think you would actually mention it to us a little bit ago, but then when the social media things started to pop up, I go, oh, yeah, that's right.
That's what's going on. Well, I'm glad they're doing their job. We worked very hard on that.
Yeah, and that's what it takes anymore.
It is.
Yeah. In fact, I was just reading something about what customers really get out of advertising. It's no longer so much the boom, boom, boom. It's the CX, the customer experience.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so great about something like this. And Club David is our location for this, and it's going to be a great event. There's no doubt about that, because you're in charge of it, or at least you started the idea.
Yeah, and I've got a really great team of gals working with me. We have Allison from Prince and Repeat, and then we've got Kim, Dearest Kim, another artist in town, and Courtney Lynn. She's also very well-rounded with things. She's an aerial performer, and she does stained glass and all kinds of stuff.
Wow!
So we've got good connections within the art community for a lot of entertainment, and I'm kind of thinking best of the best.
So, other than the fact that you said it must be a mannequin and it must be the lower torso, okay. Were there any restrictions on what you were going to say you have to provide?
So, any restrictions on what we give or what the artist can do?
No, on what the artist can do.
We tried to prepare our artists as best we can, but we did not want to give them any limitations. So we did say that, or we did have everybody fill out a little form saying they acknowledge what we're doing, and that, I mean, this could be something that attracts vandalism. We do have some great security that'll be helping out, and also helping to diffuse any tension if that does arise. But that was the big thing, is just saying, if you do something that makes people mad, be aware. Sometimes they react like that. But that's what we wanted to do with this, is create a powerful art show that hopefully gets people to think and feel and maybe stand up for their neighbors a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I know that when you first mentioned it, then it was like, oh yeah, sorry, can't come to that because we have an event that I'm already committed to.
That's all.
But then it's like, well, wait, you're getting underway at 4. Can I have somebody, in the auction by proxy?
I think so.
You know,
definitely
where I
could
could
do
say,
that.
okay, here's maximum.
I mean,
I'll go to.
I think that's between you and them, but you definitely come in and do proxy.
Yeah, because I just I want to be able to be involved in it.
That sounds fantastic.
And because me, I like art, which is why my love and I have been taking classes from you. A lot of them of late.
I love seeing you guys in there.
Oh,
It's always great.
we love being in there. It's just it's interesting because it's one of those things that. For Christmas, even that, I think we've told you how we go about this. We only have stockings for each other because the rest of the year, with no kids in the house or anything, just a dog, and that does eat up a lot of our time. But when it comes to, having something to do, hobbies and so forth, I've never seen Carrie so excited about a hobby.
Yeah. So
that at Christmas time, the stocking was filled with paintbrushes and water paints, and watercolors, and everything else that we could come up with. Even mini little easels to put things on, the sketchbooks and things like that. So it's been fun for us.
Yeah.
What are you hearing about it from other people besides us that are just natural Alex Lunstra lovers?
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
See, that would be ALL, all.
All. There we go. All art and prints, something like that. We'll change the business name. I think people are surprised because it kind of brings you back to those fun little art classes in elementary school and middle school, and not so much that it's simple, but just that you get to just be in this creative space with people. And I mean, I always was partial to my funky, hippie, goofy art teachers. It's like when they ask you to work on a painting or something, and then they're walking around playing guitar, or they're reading Coraline. That's a weird book. I remember we had an art teacher reading that way before it was a movie to us. So I guess I just like, or I think I hear a lot about that. It's bringing things back to that simple connection. But 45 minutes of creating artwork lowers cortisol levels.
Oh.
So whether you're making a good painting or not, whether you leave and you're like, what the heck did I just do with this? You still did something really good for yourself. It's better than going and exercising. I mean, worst thing you come out with is a bad painting. You don't have a sore butt.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, you instruct, but at the same time, you encourage, and you're not critical.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll say, hey, why don't you try this? and things along that line, but you're never one to come up, I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and is
that how you were taught in many ways?
Well, I don't even know if it's like that. I excelled a lot in art classes, so I don't feel like that came up a whole lot. but it's not like math. It's not like where the kiddo comes home from school and you can't solve it the way that we were taught. They have to do their certain way.
Right, yes.
And all to come out to the same answer. We're not doing that. We're not even like trying to work out any certain muscles or do something and not hurt your back. We're literally just getting some creative expression. And so that's everybody's art is great. I mean, you look around through these art history books and there's a piece in Russia that's just a black painted canvas.
Yeah. And it is amazing. I think one of my favorite that we just did was the paint your partner Picasso style on Valentine's Day. I thought that was absolutely awesome. We had fun with it. And then we went around and looked at everybody else. It was like, wow.
Right?
They did some cool-ass shit.
Exactly. Well, and I think especially with that one, it's like we start off the class saying, well, we're going to do portraits. And you can go realistic if you'd like to. I'll help you break things down, but it's going to be a lot more difficult. If you just have fun with it and you make it a little bit weird, we really create some fun things. I mean, you look at Salvador Dali and actual Picasso paintings. And that's wild. A lot of them are just these weird lines. And you're like, oh my gosh, that looks like a face. And so our brains really interpret things. And I'm really fascinated by that. You don't have to do things that well. You just have to do it enough that it's recognizable. Or then you say, hey, it's an impressionist. That's you just have all these random brush strokes. That's what it is. So
when it comes to the people taking these classes now, are you finding more in watercolor, more in acrylic, or 50-50 blend?
Well, I think I probably skew that because I still do more acrylic painting classes. That's more my forte. And I like the style because I start off with a sketch. You do your blank canvas, and then I walk you through your drawing. And the watercoloring, I think that gets to be a little more intimidating. So with my watercoloring classes, we start off with the pre-printed pages. So it's kind of like a coloring page that you paint over. So I see a lot of interest in it, but I haven't expanded those quite as much. I have more fun with the acrylics.
Okay. Well, I'm willing to take more of them.
It was like people are coming to both of them, and they're both filling up. So that works out nicely.
Well, and you were telling me before we started here that your next one is going to be a little bit more art classy-ish, isn't it?
Yeah. I am working on developing a whole year's worth of classes with Good Natured.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be doing weekly.
In the new place, even.
Exactly, at the new place. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's big. I just went in there. Paint on the walls. It's going to be beautiful. So we'll have a lot more room, and she's going to have a lot of supplies there on hand. So
nice.
We can work on different techniques and different actual aspects each week. And then we'll have, I believe every 4 weeks, we'll have kind of a play zone. So you get to come in and just play in the studio and try out all the things that we've done. And I'll be there, so you still have hands-on guidance. And that's more so you can really explore, because I think that's the importance with all of these classes, is that creative freedom. You don't have to follow the steps. You don't have to do everything this way. Here's how I'm doing it. Here's how you can do it. Have fun.
Well, going back to the watercolor, you said that, you bring out your prints.
Yeah.
And, well, first of all, I have to get into a nice little quirk first. Okay, so you are A.L. Art and Prince, Prints. When you get married, does that mean Matt's going to be the A.L. Art Prince, Prince?
Oh, I like that. I don't know if he likes that so much. He's giggling over here. That's funny, though. I always have to clarify that when I'm telling people my website. I'm like, okay, that was a rough choice.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Everything's a rough choice anymore because people want to make it that.
Well, there's so many different words, and they all sound similar.
And why don't people just ask,
That too.
Is it Prints or Prince? It doesn't take a whole lot, people, to do that. But anyway, getting back to the print part, that's how we first came into contact with you because of your coloring books that you have of Sioux Falls. You still doing those?
Well, I do still have those, and I am still printing them, but I've been kind of expanding in other directions. I guess that's kind of the first class, I suppose, though, is me packaging up my artwork in a way that other people could easily digest it and participate. And so not so much doing the coloring books anymore. I might have another one coming out eventually, but we'll see when the idea sparks for that. But otherwise, it's just growing into something different, the watercolor classes.
We bought 2 of them right off the bat. And thinking of, grandchildren. And we kept them. I don't even think we've broached drawing in them yet. It's just like wonderful.
They're sitting there waiting.
Yeah, they are.
Just like those good books.
Well, just like that bottle that you have in your office of vintage Dave Holly Hour bottled water.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
You do great logo work. I had to have
Thank
a
you.
little keepsake for
Yeah, I keep working on them too. I have fun stuff all the time
You
that I'm coming up with,
do.
and it's very, very intriguing, especially since the world of AI wants to take it over.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no,
No, we need that.
Here's what we're
touch.
keeping on our own.
That's
I
exact-
found this. We put it together, and this is how it works.
Yep. That's your art. It's all art.
What do you want to accomplish yet, both with classes and with your own art?
That's a good question.
It only took 18 minutes to ask it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. I get one in per interview.
All right, just one. That's it. So with the classes, I guess kind of the same thing as like the coloring books have graduated into the classes and things. I just want to keep graduating things and building it up a bit. So instead of just 2-hour guided painting classes,
Right.
I'd like to have more sequential things and maybe some more in-depth, like where you start off and you really design an in-depth sketch with me on one class, and then you come back the next week and we got to spend 2 or 3 hours painting the whole thing. Because at home, I don't ever sit down and just create a whole piece in 2 hours. I think that's something people don't quite wrap their head around with when
True.
they take the classes. Is this isn't usual. You start it, you set it down, you pick it back up 50 times. It might take you a few months or even a few years. Sometimes they live in the closet for a bit.
Do you have anything right now that's like that?
Oh, yeah, there's always pieces in progress. I've got 2 that are actually works in progress. Like I'm still picking them up and working on them. And then there's probably like 8-10 sketched canvases that I lose the interest or get distracted with other projects. Something comes up.
Yeah. So when you were talking about expanding your classes and so forth, you going to get to the point where you're going to have a prerequisite for some of them? Obviously, they come paint after you've sketched, but
Right.
otherwise, are you going to be labeling advanced acrylic?
We could look at doing that.
Yeah.
We could look at doing that. I guess we're still trying to see what the customer base will go with, but I've got a great little group that's been following. So, I've just been
True.
teaching you guys all. I've
Yeah.
really just been building you up and preparing it for this next level.
Oh, now we got pressure.
Right? Maybe that's what it is. Just an AL art and prints prerequisite. Have a little bit of background with me, and then I know we can start from there.
and that's the thing. Otherwise, when people come to your classes, they do not have to have any art background.
Yeah, nothing at all. So everybody gets a little intro about it's acrylic paint or watercolor paint. Either comes out of clothes or doesn't come out
Right.
of clothes, and how to best work with things. And I guess both sides to a lot of it. Like if you draw really hard on your
Right.
sketch,
And
it
of course,
shows up.
if you're on canvas, don't forget to paint the sides.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to paint your edges. make
Yes,
sure
the
it's all
edges have to
finished
be, otherwise it doesn't qualify.
up. Forget to paint your edges.
Because obviously, while you don't have to have any art experience to take your classes, there's obviously some that have some pretty decent skill
Oh, yeah.
that come to them.
Oh, yeah.
And but from those people, is there anything that you've gone, wow?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. So I feel like I see a lot of artists who are, maybe full-time or working artists, and like they come in and they pop in their headphones. They don't actually want my lesson. They just want
They just want to work.
the inspiration or like the idea, the starting point, and then they do their own thing, or they go completely off grid and really do their own thing. They're just getting a little creative time in.
So when you think of doing this, obviously there's work in putting a class together. But when you're doing your own art, do you think of it as work?
Well, parts of it.
Okay.
There's parts, like I have a checklist when I'm packing up and things, just so I
Right.
make sure I don't get out there and like, oh, I forgot the easels, or like when I forget my own canvas and
Yeah.
my fiance has to urgently drive me one. Thanks, love, you're the best. So, I have a lot of fun with creating the painting and also creating all the posters and the marketing. Like I love
Yeah.
that part of it. But the other part where I'm trying to coordinate and making sure to reach out with the bars and like, all right, what are we doing for this next month? And do you think your clients will like this kind of class? And because I work with a lot of different bars and venues, and then I work more with their customers than mine so much.
Ever thought of going the community ed route?
Yeah, honestly, I do kind
Just
of well
don't
on
like
my
that?
own for it.
Right.
It seems like that's a great place to start,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't have to do all the other stuff, all of the work parts of it.
Right. And fill out all sorts of forms for them.
Exactly. Doing posters, hanging posters, doing all that marketing, that is a lot. So if you want to take it off your plate, do community ed.
What are you most intrigued by now? You know, a lot of people say, oh, modern art, but they still like the realists. They like every sort of category out there. But when it comes to seeing new things, what do you go, that's something that's going to make a difference for people?
That's a very good question. You know, I guess I'm thinking about an artist that I saw, or the work of his that I saw in San Francisco with my mom a few years ago. She got really sick, and we made a last minute trip and had a blast. And this artist, Mark Kostabi, he does all of these figures, and I actually got one tattooed because we left San Francisco just a few weeks before he was doing a book signing. So we talked all to the gallery owner all about what we were doing and on our trip there. And I mean, I paid for this trip to San Francisco with coloring books. It was really cool.
Wow.
Art did wonderful with it. But Kostabi, I was enamored with it. And he signed this book. He loved our story. And he actually drew out this whole picture in the book. And he's written and talked about how much he hates even just signing prints and things. So I felt very special with it. But what's fascinating to me is they're people, but they're faceless, featureless, so anybody can embody it. And I think that's the important thing, is making sure that everybody has a tie-in and they can feel this. It's kind of it's like almost forcing empathy on people.
Do I recall that there's going to be a marine life class coming up, or dolphins, or
I did a whale painting at
That's
Good
what it
Natured. It
was.
was our farewell painting. It was the very last class in the old space. Well, we might
because it
just
made
have
me
to
think. Have you ever heard of an artist by the name of Christian Lassen?
No.
Lassen.
No.
Does marine life in. Some people might go, well, that's gaudy, but it's not. It's just absolutely beautiful, the colors that he uses, and it's fantastic stuff. I first saw him. He has a gallery at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, and he's based out of Hawaii. And it's just like, wow, this is awesome
Vivid
stuff.
colors.
I loved it right off the bat. So
That's
when they were
awesome.
talking about the whales, it's like, here's somebody you should take a look at
I'll
sometime.
have to check that out.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So first of all, your upcoming event is the 28th.
March 28th,
Start
Saturday.
at 4 o'clock at Club David.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $10 donation
You
would
got it.
be nice. Not required, but nice.
Not required, but it goes towards a good cause.
Right.
South Dakota Voices for Peace does a lot of great work here.
Yeah. All right. Well, always a pleasure talking with you. Always a pleasure taking a class from you as well.
Thank you.
And you know what's just as great for me? Seeing the joy on my wife's face when she takes these classes from you.
So much. So
Yeah,
much.
it's lovely.
She always lights things up in there. She even comes with her own apron.
Yes, she
She's
does.
the most prepared and the most excited for them. I love it. I love it.
All right. Well, this being, is this your second or third time here?
Oh, second time interviewing.
Second time interviewing. Okay, then. So let's see. The first time around, you would have gotten the traditional questions when you're not part of the arts and entertainment scene.
Yeah.
All that. But let's go with this one then.
All right.
What's the title of your autobiography?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with a little saying we came up at home because my fiance gives me crap because I talk about art a lot. A lot. So it's art, blah, blah, blah.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Alex, thank you so much for taking time to be on the show once again. Appreciate it greatly.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And we will be back with more of the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Ladies, when it's time to give your nails some love, get that extra special treatment from Quality Nails in Sioux Falls. Manicures and pedicures that look great and make you feel fantastic. Zaya and Tony don't simply provide the service, they provide professional care for your hands and feet, whether you just want the basics or you're looking for an extra special look with added flair. Oh, and guys, it's okay to treat yourself too. Quality Nails on Minnesota Avenue. Call for an appointment, 605-334-1463. Walk-ins welcome.
Step into the sound of something special this week at Trio Jazz Club. Local legend Bobby Grip brings classic and contemporary jazz tonight that'll have your toes tapping all night long. Tomorrow, travel back to one of jazz's most groundbreaking years. The JAS Quintet explores the music and influence of 1959, featuring sounds inspired by greats like Dave Brubeck, Miles Davis, and Ornette Coleman. A powerful night of music that changed everything. If you miss Friday, catch JAS Quintet on Saturday for a second chance to experience their great music. On Tuesday, Terry Brooks and Joel Shotwell return with saxophone and piano, creating a smooth and memorable evening. Lastly, it'll be the first Wednesday of April, which means it's time to jam at the Jazz Jam. Watch local musicians as they create a completely improvised night of music led by drummer Dan Heyer. From jazz history to fresh improv, there's something for everyone at Trio.
Funny, engaging, connected. He's the entertainment reporter for Sioux Falls. Here's Dave Holly.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, I wrote it myself, so I have to say it myself. It is always a pleasure to talk Sioux Empire arts and entertainment, and always a pleasure when I get to meet somebody new. And this is a first for me in the fact that not only is he blind, but I am going to pretend to be blind for a moment, too, when I feel the type of artwork that he has brought to Sioux Falls. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Richard Crawford. And Richard, it was, first of all, interesting how we got hooked up through a mutual friend, Mr. Edward Ike.
Edward Ike.
Yes, Edward has a couple of pieces displayed in our home, and he is a good friend. In fact, little-known story to many people, but my wife's senior prom, he went to her with it. Yeah. So we
Longtime friends.
Oh, very much so.
Sure.
Well, more so for her because we haven't been together, but about the past 18, 20 years now.
Oh, only 18.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's interesting because when you said that, first of all, it's like, okay, well, how did you know Edward? I'm figuring art at this point.
Sure.
But then it's because of paratransit. That's what he does for his regular job.
Yep. He's a driver for us and does a wonderful job. Never had one wreck with me in the bus.
And he was gracious enough to tell you about my show, and you've been listening. In fact, probably better than most people do. Picking up on a lot of things we've talked about already before starting this interview. And you say you had left a message, I believe, first, an actual phone message. And it's like, okay, so I call you back and you start telling me about everything. And what you have come to enjoy is called tactile art. And you said, okay, we've got an exhibit at the Washington Pavilion. It goes through the end of May, correct?
Correct, 31st of May.
And this is a free exhibit for people to take in?
Yes, it doesn't cost. You just go in and go up the steps to Gallery 301, and it's a free exhibit. And you could experience 7 different pieces of art from the old masters. That's why it's called 7 Art Movement.
Yeah, and I saw you on Kello TV, so I was able to experience what people will see when they go in. And, oh, thank you.
I don't know if that has pictures on it.
Yes, it does. Yeah, tactile images. And so it's like, okay, you walk in and the art is right in front of you on the wall, and then down on the display and a little bit of an angle is the tactile art.
It kind of reminds me of standing in front of a pinball machine as far as placing. And then visually you have a replication of the piece of art in front of you. So visually you can look at it, close your eyes, and tactily feel over the piece of art. And down around the bottom, there are 4 buttons that as you push those, they will tell you about the artist. They will describe to you about the period, all through a set of headphones by a professional narrator. And then as you go about feeling the piece of art itself, there are built-in sensors that will pick up and tell you about the color of the hair, the eyes, describe the dress, the background. So all through a professional narrator's eyes, so that us blind guys not only can feel it, but we get an idea about the color of the hair and the fact that she's a Caucasian and she has blue eyes or whatever.
Well, you brought a sample, and it is of a young Abraham Lincoln. And if I hadn't seen what you were bringing me first and felt it, I don't know if I'd have been able to figure it out.
Well, that's because you're prejudiced. You've been looking at Abraham Lincoln's face on pennies for years with his beard, and it's not the same picture.
Or in high school auditoriums where it was half painted.
There you go. Yeah.
And especially with the beard and so forth. But a young Abraham Lincoln. But this is very interesting because it's raised up. You do have, not a border, but there is the piece that it's on, but the background, and then to trace it and so forth. And now, how do people go about when you explain this to them? Do they like to take one hand over, trace it? What do you hear from people?
Everybody does it a little different.
Okay.
But mainly you will start at either the top of the picture or the bottom, either one. And as you feel with both hands, you get a wider view as you start to put this picture together tactilely and through the oral description. Okay. So and what's really interesting, David, is the sighted people will look at the picture, they'll close their eyes, and then they see art for the first time the way we are seeing art for the first time.
When did you experience tactile art and seeing it in the way that you see it for the first time?
How many people are familiar with the scream?
Oh, yeah.
The scream. The first time I looked at that, you could see the eyes bugged out. You could see the mouth wide open, the hands. You could just feel the fear in that picture. And you don't. Whenever a blind person feels a canvas, like I told Edward, I can feel your canvas, but that doesn't really show me anything,
right?
Because you can't tell. But by this, you really get to draw out the girl with the pearl earring. You get to see the earring that has made her famous. Just being able to see what you sighted people have been seeing all your lives is kind of cool for people that are blind.
Right. Well, I have my eyes closed right now, and I'm tracing around Abraham Lincoln. And boy, he had a big head of hair at first.
Yes, he did.
And I can tell the nose.
Big nose.
Yeah, and then we get down in the shoulders.
And you can see
and
the
how
lips.
It goes off. Yeah.
And his chin.
Yeah, boy, there's the chin.
Yeah.
I'd have covered that up with a beard, too.
I did.
Oh, man, this is just... and over on the ear. Can feel the ear. So hopefully those listening at this point know that as I'm imagining Abraham Lincoln and feeling these, that, you can tell... especially when it comes to portraitures. Is it a side? Is it front on? And so forth. What's the depth in terms of, from the front of the tactile down to the canvas? How far do some go? Is it usually all about this same size?
It's real close to that size because with that height, you can get the 3D definition involved.
Right.
You can kind of get the fact that the jacket has seams and buttons and stuff. Even one of the pictures has a lady looking out of the corner of her eye like this, and you can feel on that one the eyeballs that the iris is looking out of the corner of her eye. So you can tell that.
Okay, yeah. Well, and I guess, now that you're talking about it, there's bow tie. I can feel the bow tie on this and so forth, and can't quite tell if they're lapel or the shirt. Now, I think it's a shirt collar.
What I found interesting is when you're sighted and you close your eyes for the very first time, you have a little hard time picking up on some of the nuance of the picture, just because you just haven't used your brain, that part of your brain. 'Cause we've learned that when you read Braille, it goes to a different part of your brain than using your eyes. Tactfully, it goes to a different part of the brain than when you use your eyes. So you have to train your brain to appreciate what you're seeing and what you're feeling. When I saw the screen for the first time, David, I understood when they say art is in the eye of the beholder. It's true as heck, even for us blind guys.
So you said there's 7 pieces on display and from the masters. So who all are we looking at?
Well, you have a list there, I believe.
Oh.
Van Gogh.
Because we got the journey, but let's see, what do we have here? Disabled sighted.
Because I have never had an interest in art, I don't remember the 7 different periods.
Right.
And I think all these sheets are the same, but I thought they had a list of the 7 different pieces. But when you go down there, you'll see them.
Right.
And it's on the 2nd floor of the Visual Arts Center.
Visual Arts Center, and it's free. And I just think this is fantastic, and I'm so ready to go see it. Now I just have to find the time.
Well,
but,
between now and May 31st, you can't have an excuse for that entire period.
Oh, no.
And we're finding that the School for the Blind is supposed to be bringing down a bus of kids to see it. We've sent invitations to all the art classes. The teachers at the high schools and colleges encouraging their art students to come down and see it. And just the general public. This is not an exhibit just for blind people.
Right. And so who collected it?
The National Federation of the Blind sponsors the exhibit. We had to raise $36,000 to bring the exhibit here. And they have 7 other exhibits that we can bring to town if we find a good reception to the exhibit. So, but it's a newer technology. And it's interesting, a guy named John Olson was a photographer in Vietnam for the Stars and Stripes.
Okay.
And he has won a number of awards for his photography. He came home from Vietnam and had his photography business, and he came up with the concept and has the patents to create this for us.
Wow.
He's a really interesting, if you want to see some of his awesome pictures from Vietnam, just Google John Olson, and he's just an incredibly neat guy. He's about 80 years old and just a wonderful, wonderful storyteller of some of the pictures and stuff that he's taken over in Vietnam back in the 60s.
Okay, so you're telling me in terms of how each person has kind of an individual way that they experience this, but what are you hearing in terms of feedback from people?
I hear a lot of awesome.
Yeah.
Just because it's so different, and it seems to be some pretty good appreciation. The kids are liking it because in most museums, don't touch that. We say touch it. Get your hands on that baby.
Yeah.
So the
little different attitude toward this one.
That's right. This one's okay. Get your hands on that thing.
Yeah. And so, when did you get involved in this then? In the fundraising process of it, or?
Well, I've just moved up here 6 years ago after retiring from working in Sioux City for 46 years.
Oh. Did you ever go to Miles Inn?
I was there yesterday for lunch.
Love that place.
I do. And out in Morningside. In fact, I had lunch there yesterday with a buddy of mine. That's funny. Anyway, I tried to get the Sioux City Art Museum to become interested in this 5 years ago because it was brand new then. And for some reason, the director of the Art Center just didn't seem to think it was worthwhile. So when I moved to Sioux Falls, I tried a new tack and found out that the Washington Pavilion would be a potential place to have it. And I've been working with them for 2 years now to get it, number one, approved and then scheduled, because people think, well, part of the 2 years has nothing to do with the fact that they didn't want to do it. It's just that they schedule things out so far.
Very true.
But we got them to agree, and then I went out and raised the money, and we made it happen.
Well, it's fantastic, because I am so ready to experience it, other than just the piece that you brought for me to sample, and it's almost like, do I want to take a look at the actual art first, or do I want to just go in, put a hand up in front so that I don't look at the art, and then put my hands on it first?
Well, there's 7 different pieces located around this room, so you can really do both.
Try it all, can't I?
You can try them both.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right. So how big of an art lover have you always been then?
Well, I've always enjoyed sculpture, of course, because blind guys could always, but you couldn't see the big pieces. I mean, the dinosaurs down there, kind of looking at an elephant, you touch his leg, and what does an elephant look like? But the smaller pieces of sculpture we've enjoyed. We were amazed. My wife and I were at the Louvre in Paris, and when she first saw the Mona Lisa, it's just a little dinky paper. I mean, it's just a little dinky painting.
Really?
It's not very big. And you think, what's the big hullabaloo about this thing? Well, of course, ours is much bigger, so we can feel it. But it is interesting to see art. I
had never heard that. I've always thought that it was, probably 2 foot, but
no, it's just a weeny little picture. And she's not that good looking, actually.
It's the smile. That's all anybody ever talks about. It's the smile.
It's the smile.
So what was that to feel like then on the Mona Lisa?
When I saw her, I was today through our 3D art. You mean?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I was impressed. I didn't think she was all that glamorous looking.
But the lips specifically, is that what?
Yeah, and it's a nice front-on view, and her nose is fairly good size.
Yeah.
But the exhibit we went to when we were in Amsterdam to the Van Gogh Museum, they had a very neat little product about the size of a TV controller, and every picture had a number. And I could punch in the number, and through a set of headsets, I would get a professional narrator describing all the different pieces throughout the Van Gogh Museum. And that was very interesting to me. And I, again, learned if I listened to the professional narrator and then I listened to my wife describe it, I got 2 different pictures. Because everybody looks at it a little differently.
True.
But that's what makes it fun for more people.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to other arts, how do you get the joy if something's not tactile?
I love music.
Okay.
Yeah, all kinds of music, all different varieties. I enjoy, I guess I can't, I'm not really big on opera because I don't understand the words, and I can't appreciate all the dance and all the movements and stuff. But I've always liked musicals, of course, because you get a lot of verbal description. I was in musicals in high school. I was in South Pacific in high school, and I always enjoyed that. So I've been a lover of art. Just first time I can enjoy paintings.
Yeah. But you also, I'm guessing there are Braille novels.
Oh, I read a lot of books because I was at the School for the Blind for 5 years, and they never made me learn Braille. They said, "You want to learn Braille?" I said, "No." They said, "Okay." The dumbest thing in the world. Blind kids need to learn Braille.
Yeah.
People who are starting to lose their sight, most people's sight loss is progressive. It gets worse over time.
Okay.
A lot of people, when they first start losing their sight, they say, "Well, I can still see to read print." Well, yeah, but when you have to have your nose down on the page and you can only read 5 words a minute, you can't be competitive. So we encourage Braille learning at an early age, like 3, to start learning Braille. And I'm a volunteer at the Toy Lending Library. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, a little bit, but not.
The Toy Lending Library puts games into plastic totes and puts them out in the schools so that parents can check it out. They're educational games and books and stuff. We put in Braille alphabet cards into all those boxes because then the kids say, "What's this, Mommy?" Well, that's how blind people read Braille. We had a recent instance was just phenomenal. A lady who has an autistic child. The child wanted to know what that card was and took right to trying to learn Braille. And she can read Braille better than she does print because, again, like I said earlier, when you're reading Braille, it goes to a different part of the brain. Therefore, this autistic child can read better in Braille. And who would have ever thought of that? I mean, who would have thought that? It's crazy.
What do you think about when you think about art then? what, obviously you love it all with the exception of a little opera. But what do you think about what is the draw of art?
I think it's the individual creativity and everyone's ability to express different forms of it and different aspects of it. Just, I enjoy seeing the creativity of individuals coming out.
Now, before we started, you were telling me a little bit about your background. You became blind at 10, but you kind of zoomed through a lot of things in life. And like you said, you worked a long, long time. Tell us about your journey then, and what led you to the point that we are today.
Well, the best thing is I was lucky to have wonderful, wonderful parents. My mom and dad were married and had their first kid at 15 and 16. They didn't know that this blind kid wasn't supposed to do this. And they had no restraints. They had the attitude, figure it out. Well, what a wonderful thing to teach a child, period, let alone if he's handicapped.
Yeah.
So I grew up with no barriers that said, you can't do this. My dad ran a tree business. I learned how to split wood with sledgehammers and wedges, and I learned to run chainsaws and rope tree limbs out of trees for my dad using a whistling technique that his certain whistles let me know to let it down, and if I was supposed to stop before I dropped it on the garage, he'd whistle and I'd stop. So we just figured out the way to make it happen. And
what a great attitude.
It was a wonderful attitude. And after I got kicked out of the school for the blind and wanted to go to public school, this was back in the 60s, there weren't teachers' aides, there weren't IEPs, there's nothing for including handicapped kids back in those days. It was my job to find out what the textbooks was going to be, get it into the Iowa Department for the Blind, and get it put on reel-to-reel tape. That's how old I am.
Oh, okay. I used to work with reel-to-reel.
Yes, back when you were a little younger. And then I graduated from high school, was fortunate I wrestled all through high school and went to state in Iowa. If you go to state.
That's a big thing there.
I was in the last class that went to Waterloo Hippodrome before the state tournaments moved down to Des Moines Vets. Yeah. And then I went to Wartburg College in Waverly, where I majored in business administration and business education. Back then, I knew I could get a job as a teacher and being a wrestling coach, so that's kind of what I thought I'd do. But then I liked business also, so I double majored and went through college in 3 years, and that isn't nearly as impressive as you might first think, but if you think about it, blind guys couldn't get summer jobs, so I figured my summer job was go to school.
Go to school.
So that's why I was able to get through college in 3 years with 2 majors and a minor, and my minor was elementary art education. So, I mean, my enjoyment for art was...
There's no stopping you.
Yeah. And then I was able to get my first job 2 months out of college, and I became an assistant director for a community action agency. Do you know what a community action agency is? You will know this.
Okay.
They were the feeder for organizations like Head Start.
Okay.
Came out of the community action. Meals on Wheels came out of the community action agencies. We were the funnel, the beginning funding by the government for those types of programs. Winterization for low-income people, kids, youth programs to get them jobs, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And then I did that for a couple of years, and then I was assistant director for that program in Belle Plaine, Iowa. And then the executive directorship job came up in Sioux City for Woodbury County, and I was just dumb enough to apply, and they were dumb enough to hire me. So at age 23, I became executive director of the Community Action Agency in Sioux City, and I did that for a couple of years. And then I had an opportunity. I used to hitchhike to work every day. Thumb up.
Yeah.
Hitchhike to work every day.
Trust.
Well, not only that, I got to meet a lot of people. Because who went to work when I went to work? Other businessmen and women. So I got to be pretty well known in Sioux City.
Networking.
By hitchhiking to work.
Yeah.
And one day I was hitchhiking to work, and a guy picked me up, and he said, "Hi, Rich Crawford." And I says, "Well, I don't recognize your voice." He says, "Well, we never met." And I had just finished doing the Jerry Lewis Muscular Dystrophy Telethon that year, fundraiser like they used to do, break down to the local stations and so I did that. And he said, "We just saw you on the Jerry Lewis program that year for raising money. And he said, we'd like to talk to you about coming into our business. And I said, well, what's your business? He said, we're stockbrokers. By that time, I was downtown Sioux City, and
Right.
I thought, right. So I get out of my car, and of course, being the introvert that I am, I looked him up in the city directory, and he really was a stockbroker. So I called him up and said, hey, this is Rich Crawford. Were you really serious about wanting to talk to me about your business? He said, yes. Well, make a longer story short, I interviewed with him, and I became only the third blind stockbroker in the country at the time. And I spent 41 years managing people's money because I was able to teach them it takes foresight, not eyesight. And there is a difference.
Right.
So I was able to make investments and manage people's money for when I retired. And 7 years ago, we were managing money for fourth and fifth generations of families. And David, if you screw Grandpa, you don't get a shot at the grandkids. Okay. So it ended up being just an awesome, wonderful career for me. And over the years, I've been able to mentor 11 other blind people to get into the investment business, and 9 out of the 11 succeeded. We had a lot of sighted guys that didn't succeed that tried being stockbrokers. So it's not an easy task, but just such a wonderful career. And I was able to get married 43 years ago to my wife, and we have 3 children. None of them live in my basement. And
Accomplishments there.
well, it's fortunate.
Yeah.
But life has just been unbelievable. But it's what you've got to make choices. Crap happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just, what are you going to do with it? And I've been fortunate that life has played out a full house.
So that long in Sioux City, I already mentioned Miles In, but did you ever listen to KSCJ radio?
I used to be on, I think it was Ray Grandel.
Yeah.
I was on his radio show back in the early years when I was get on there and talk about different community action agency sponsored programs. And of course, Charlie, who's down there now.
Yeah.
So no, I've known KSCJ for years. You used to be there, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Let's see. It would have been the spring of '82, summer of '82.
Just before I got there.
Oh.
I got there
you missed
I got there in July of '73. Just missed you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I tell you what, Richard, I am just enthralled talking to you, and we could go for hours, and I would let it, but I do have to have other things I have to get to, so I got to move on with life. But I thank you so much for bringing this, A, to my attention, B, for bringing in the sample, and also the fact that you got something to be at the pavilion where it's not going to cost anybody. People get to experience something. And, that's one of the things that I'm always telling people is it's so great when you get to experience new things. Not
broaden your horizons.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so. So I appreciate all that you're doing. I appreciate the time. But I do have to ask you then, you're... I already kind of talked about, what you like in art and so forth. But so let's go with this. What's the title of your autobiography?
Hide and watch.
Love it.
You tell me I can't do something as a blind guy? My answer is hide and watch.
All right. Good for all people to live by.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just try it. The best lesson I ever learned is to try things.
Mm-hmm.
We're our own worst enemy.
Yeah, we are.
I rope propelled
and
off
our own worst critics, too.
I rope propelled off the tallest building in Sioux City as a fundraiser for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. What do you think the worst part of rope propelling off the tallest building in Sioux City is?
Smelling Sioux City all the way down.
Reasonable answer, but the worst thing about it was thinking about it. The doing was easy.
Oh.
It's the thinking that gets us in trouble so many times.
Oh, so true.
My encouragement is just go see this art exhibit, people. I think you'll enjoy it. You will broaden your own horizons and have an appreciation for how blind people now can enjoy painting.
Yeah, exactly. And through the end of May 31, it's the last date for you to take it in at the Washington Pavilion. Oh, Richard, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, a pleasure getting to experience this, and I certainly hope that this isn't the end of a friendship here that we just started.
Lord willing, it's just the beginning.
All right, appreciate it. And we will be back to wrap up the Dave Holly Hour in just a moment.
Walking through the entryway of Phil's Pub, you can't help but notice the show pics and posters from the heyday of live bands in Sioux Falls. Phil's is back. They're on their way to reestablishing their iconic live music venue status. Come on into Phil's for a great local brew. You might just find yourself seeing some of the performers in those pictures, and a very good chance you'll see new acts that will end up being in pictures too. Phil's Pub, your local dive with music for the people. Follow them on Facebook and other socials. Keep up to date with who's playing at the pub each week here on the Dave Holly Hour.
Dr. Perry Langston and Dr. Corey Tooney know excellence is in you. That's why they provide you with excellent care at XO Chiropractic, improving your overall health in spirit, body, mind, and will. Get results the natural way. Arrange a consultation, 605-332-9235 or exokairos.com. Excellent care for excellent people. XO Chiropractic, located at 4309 South Racket Drive in Sioux Falls.
Hot? No. Cute? No. Ruggedly handsome? Yes. Once again, here's Dave Holly.
Thanks again to Alex Lunstra and Richard Crawford. While this was Richard's first time on the show, Alex has made a previous appearance. Find out what she's talked about previously on the show's website. Listen to any of the now 313 shows anytime you want at DaveHollyHour.com. This show is also available on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you all for supporting local arts and for taking the time to download, now over 25,000 times, listen, and share the show. So I encourage you to find your art. Find the art you enjoy. Find the art you are interested in trying, and we shall see with the arts. As the Sioux Falls Arts Council says, together we art. As Arts South Dakota says, home is where the art is. As I say, put some art in your heart. Remember, my name is Dave Holly, and for me, every day is a holiday.
The Dave Holly Hour has been brought to you by Trio Jazz Club, Sioux Falls' premier jazz club. Enter as friends, leave as family. Phil's Pub, your local dive with music for the people. Chasers Food and Spirits, XO Chiropractic, and Quality Nails. Stay up to date on the show by following on Instagram and Facebook. All episodes available anytime at DaveHollyHour.com. The Dave Holly Hour is produced in the Dipsy Doodle Studios by Big D Entertainment.
Thanks for listening.